just took a big whack as well. Don't know where that. He gets another. That's what 1v1 could probably do it.
There she go in and get the frag. Turns around and gives the second.
What is that?
Let's play. Sign up now.
GLL Wingman Series 2, game number 5. We're going to Miramar.
Miramar.
Finally, we are. No more fake news. We are moving to the desert. So,
Yep.
how is that going to change the game? Obviously, it's a very, very different map.
Bigger as well.
Yeah, yes, it is definitely bigger. Less water.
Much less water. We're not gonna see any water.
Yeah, exactly. I was going to say, yeah. No
Have you
swimmers.
seen the new update they're gonna do? They're gonna add a lake on top.
Really?
In the, all the way up north, they're gonna add a little lake. Very
Is
cozy.
it going to be salty water or something?
Oh, I don't know. Probably salty waters or black waters. You can have a little boat up there. No, but they're gonna add that. But yeah, Miramar indeed.
Yeah.
Lots of dips and divots. A lot of different plays as well.
Let's get the leaderboard on the screen while we dabble along. How did things change? Well, Pijama Noda and Onuktav, again, I don't know how to spell it, how to pronounce it, have dropped off quite massively due to their 24th place in the previous game. The Zuba and Goes have taken over 601 points in the lead of the finals here.
Yeah, a good lead as well. I mean, it's 130 points nearly. Empire as well. We see Maldefa and Ambush, the Ambush boys, also in the top 4 now. Kibi the Slayer and Oxo took on. They're in the top 7 now with those 10 kills in the top 2 here as well. So we're slowly getting towards defining the winner. And if we see a win from the Super and Ghost, they're basically just cementing the first place right now.
Feels like the further we've gone through these games, I think it feels like it's kind of slowed the games down to an extent. You know, it feels like everyone's getting a little more tense. You know, as the leaderboards are starting to build up and people are going to be realizing that they're first of all playing for money. There's some obviously players here that don't play competitively. They're not used to playing in this kind of environment. Money on the line, you know, the stress that comes with it, and the way that it actually affects your decision making.
Yeah,
and it usually does slow things down a little bit. So
yeah, it does.
So like in that one, then you would have expected to have much more fights going on in the early parts, but it kind of just mellowed down a little bit. So interesting to see how it plays out. That we go into a totally, obviously a very, very different environment in Miramar.
Yeah. I mean, Miramar is a map where you can play aggressively or you can play extremely passively. Has so many dips and divots, you can hide so much. There's lots of small houses. Of course, there's also a lot of mountains where you can run down and just get shot at because there's not too much cover there.
Yeah.
So it really depends on what kind of circles we're gonna get, but also how people are gonna play. But as you said, when you're in the top 5 and you smell the money, then you're gonna change your play style. Maybe not take those bold decisions that makes you wipe a squad. So you're gonna be playing a bit more passively, threading carefully, not taking these big ball games in plays.
And especially in Miramar, where rotations are harder, first of all, just because of the terrain and the way it is. So depending on what kind of car you have with you, essentially, obviously affecting it too. And then being more toward the center of the circle is going to be even more pivotal in terms of being successful and being down in the last 10 teams that are alive.
Yeah.
So, I mean, even so far, it has been very center heavy. People have been playing the center of the circle, trying to find their way very early on. And I don't see that changing on Miramar because it feels, obviously, because of just how the terrain plays out, it's even more essential to be there.
Yeah, definitely. And I mean, that's also why on Miramar, we're also going to see it in this duo. A lot of these teams, they're going to drop in the good compounds, good positions. They're going to see this zone and they're going to go straight to the middle because it's so much harder to rotate.
Yep.
It's so much harder to play edge in this. So opting for going middle early is very good here. We're going to see playing up from LS here. down towards Valdemar, and it's going to be just splitting everything up here. How do you like El Acer? It's a good place to loot. One of my favorites.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah.
Do we see Sarki is actually going for the islands?
Oh yeah, Vladkot and Sharky. It's actually good loot.
I was gonna say, as long as you can find a boat and you can get out of there, you actually pretty much hit it out coming out of there as a duo.
And before we get a Eastern Circle where it ends on, and they're just staying there.
Exactly. They're just going to be
true.
holding the fourth over there. Obviously, like we said, I mean, because it's such it's a big map.
Yeah.
Then also it means that if you don't necessarily go to the upper edges, considering how the flight path and everything goes, and depending how the circle is, you're not going to make your way all the way to, as we get first kills already happening.
Picado already fighting. Classic Picado. Hula Silva already taking off.
Who would have expected?
Who would expect that Picado was going to be the first place where there was fights happening? So C5 Solia and Hula Silva.
Listen, you were saying once we go on Miramar, Hula Silva is going to reign supreme.
I told you. I called it.
Well, it's a rather northern circle we get here.
Yep, somewhat good circle. The middle is okay. It's a bit of open space as well, but lots of small compounds, small dips and divots, some high ground positions you can play, and basically just a good starting circle here. Not water, not like extreme south, not extreme northwest, up on Alcantara and this stuff. They actually added some of this already. Sharky, Z, and Vladkot. They actually added some of this stuff up in the west. You can see the Plegas I talked about, and Alcantara. They already added that, and some new roads, so you can easily rotate to that.
I feel like that lake is essential for this game, for the gameplay.
I really can we go take a look here? Is it good loot? How good is the loot right there? It's because there's not gonna much more fight happening. It's small shit shacks. We're gonna have 30 bullets for the 5.56.
Essential for the game.
And it doesn't look like nothing.
No.
Whoa. Yeah, it's actually okay.
Prime loot.
But as you see, it's not not too deep, and it's not gonna look like people are gonna go here for the swimming. It's more like a paradise city, where you go on vacation if you're based out of Texas or Mexico, I'd say. Those areas. But here it's just Loggy in the middle, looting a graveyard and Minas Generales, a super good place to loot. And in general, a lot of these teams are already in the zone. But some of these teams down in the west and the southwest, they're going to have a hard time rotating because there's just two roads you can come in. You can come in from the west and you come in from the south.
That's what I was saying about gatekeeping on this map is very different from, at least I feel like it, because of how people are utilizing the roads much more because of the terrain, basically. So you can bottleneck people coming into the zone basically through the main roads here.
Yeah, and unless you have 4 2-seaters or 2 2-seaters if you're playing duo, then you have to go on the roads because you're driving basically 30 kilometers an hour on the areas of the sandy deserts.
Yeah, with a big chance of you flipping your car.
Oh yeah, or driving into stuff that's gonna stuck it or getting shot out of it.
Yeah,
but we're gonna have these teams. Already now serial Phonias and Final Custos, they're already driving. They found some cars here, or vehicles at least, driving towards the center here. And Final Custos is going to come in from the west at least.
Yeah, San Martin is the hot spot right now.
Yep. Player 36 taking shots, and Shax, Sobolicious and Mars already fighting each other. Yep. Ooh. Taking a shot to the chest.
Again,
or a couple.
Getting into these early fights means you're compromising your loot. As we can see, level 1s over there for, well, both of these guys actually.
Yep.
See what the case is here for Shax and Dilden. Player 036, also in the level 1 helmet category.
Do you think he likes 36, or it's just because player 1 to 35 was taken?
Listen, we're going to have to ask him. I'll send him a message and we can ask him.
Fantastic.
What's the storyline behind this thing?
Why?
What's the number?
Did you try it 35 times before you got the 36, or is just 36 is your but of course it's player unknown's battlegrounds, so he's known as number 36. So it's just an undercover name.
You've cracked it.
Yep. Wasabi here, 2x. They're already moving from the power grid. Have a full level 2 equipment.
You like Wasabi?
Wasabi?
Yeah.
No, I'm not a big fan, but I know he's Danish, and he likes wasabi.
Quite obvious. You pick that as a nickname.
Obviously,
you would imagine so.
Yep.
Be kind of funny if you hated it. I'd be like, wasabi, I hate it.
Yeah. playing together with Jackanov. I mean, I think Wasabi could actually be American, because there's another Danish guy. He's called Wasabi as well, but that's spelled another way. Twitch TV Murov, and they're gonna get straight up looted right now. Level 3 backpack, a Groza, get good looted. They have a level 2 already. They didn't get any helmet or vest of this crate, but that was straight up gifted to them. Imagine if you could have some microtransactions, $5 for a crate, straight on your face. What do you think?
Why not? Make it happen.
Flare gun, basically.
Yeah.
Buy a flare gun, microtransaction. Do you think that would be a fantastic choice? No, of course not.
Let's not give any ideas to anyone.
No, don't give it out. No. Here, Mortify and Bish, they're pushing to Carbon XYZ. It looks like they have spotted him or have the info on him. Definitely looks like they have the info on him. They're pushing to him.
Kind of ballsy here.
He did forget his pants going into mirror, but of course, but it is a bit hotter here. But I don't think that Carbon XYZ has the info. He must have heard him now. Yep.
Yes.
Getting ready for it. Taking the spot on it. Bish here. Oh. Making no shots yet. Oh, knocking him as well. Bish taking the headshot on him. Insane.
Classic
well, there.
fire.
Microstar taking shots at him as well. So Mortify and Bish here, they're up 1 kill right now. They're gonna be able to loot him. And they're actually pushing further, just going aggressive right now, going after Microstar. They know it's a 2v1, so they're just pushing him out of the city. Ultimately, making sure that they're getting at least 1 kill here, trying to get another.
Yeah, well, it seems like Microstar is not having any of it. He is just going to
full disengage right now.
Yeah, I didn't like my teammate anyway. So
yeah, he does have an 8x and a scar, 2 scars actually. So he's just gonna.
It's not the worst situation to be in.
Oh, nice headshot! Connect that onto Bish, and he's gonna double peek that, not even healing up. He doesn't give a damn. Mortify as well here.
Balls of steel.
Yep. Yeah, he has to disengage from this fight. He's not inside the zone. Taking some shots now, and he can just leg it from here, leaving these guys to Carbon's loot, maybe even looting a bit further. Wasabi.
It's a knock that's happened,
Oh.
and Jakenov gets a shot in.
Finishing off Lula and Andrew Poons.
Yeah,
29.
they've been taken care of.
Yep, indeed. Pride already dead center to my also close to the center. So they're split up in the middle and the north of the middle. Team 31 here. And Danny and Imperius, they're actually, it looks like they're fighting or disengaging a fight here. Mars and Sobilicious, as we saw earlier. Player 36 also still alive. They disengage a bit from that fight in San Martin. Looks like they're just going to be running north and trying to get into another position.
And there's a potential fight in the northwest side of, well, outside the circle.
Yeah, in La Copria. The Tab and Edelweiss. Taking the long rotation all the way around.
Yeah.
Goes and the Super, our current leaders. They have heard these guys, but it's they're driving in an elevated area and basically just around the train station. So they're going to test out these new roads in the north, ultimately seeing if they work. It looks like they're just going to take the long rotation into the north here.
Makes sense for the Zupa and his teammate to try to play a conservative game, considering where they're sitting in the standings. But still, you still want to make sure you're getting a few cheeky kills and still managing to survive.
Absolutely.
In those top 10 positions to make sure that you're getting enough points to maintain your position within the leaderboard.
And they have the La Copria all to themselves, so they can just loot up, get lots of meds, and just edge their way in until they're in a position where they either have to drive in or the zone is just too far away from them, where they have to make another play. The zone is somewhat close to them, and you can basically just heal the first zone here. So the next zone is really, really pivotal for them.
And now on the west side by the road,
yeah,
there is definitely going to be Kame actually getting some shots in. You can see the bike going past, but not going to connect properly.
Nope. Kame here.
Well, there's another car. Ambush, Skirk. And they move towards the compound.
And Strandov is going to come to his mate again.
Ooh. Okay.
Microstar here, he is hurt.
Microstar knows exactly what's going on, but he does get the knock.
Yep. Finishing off some shots to the buttocks. So he's gonna get knocked right there. He was alone
Mhm.
because he did get left out. There were 2 vehicles. So Micro's gonna finish off Malte, Far, and get that spicy loot of that. Meanwhile, Modify and Bish, they heard that probably, so they're just gonna drive away, move into San Martino, come even further. These 3 teams, they're extremely close right now.
They are.
Player and Shax, Danny, and Imperius. Martin so delicious. Oh, nice shot. Connecting all 4. Finishing him off right there. He is getting flushed on the spot. Danny down to being alone here. Team number 29. That was super fast. Connecting these shots.
Yeah. Again, they are in an elevated position in terms of the first floor rather, of that building. So they had better visibility on the players on the rotate, as we have everyone making their way into the circle. Now again, the interest is, what does the circle do next? But however, before we get into that, there's still a fight going on here. Microstar alone in the compound, being surrounded by 2 players. This is with the Car 98 trying to get a scope in, but thinks that it's time to move considering the circle, but actually it's going to be Mortify. Trying to be mortifying. And Microstar, losing half his HP, decides to get some HP back before engaging again. Said is he going to try to make his way, lurk his way somehow away from there. I don't think he really has a lot of opportunities here.
Nope, and he's in a they have a super good pinch on them.
Yeah.
90-degree pinch, basically just holding him down in that shack. Ultimately making Mortify open to this push. He can push right there. And
But this is just compromising, everyone's game at this point in time for them.
Yep.
Considering the circle.
Yep. Next zone has popped. It did go a bit north, would say, but not too much. Still pretty good. Pride here taking shots and getting knocked out by Empire Adusi. So he's out. Pidgeminota also killing Agova from Visits. Bish and Mortify is just gonna hold down Microstar right here outside the zone. Adusi here connecting a lot of these shots. And Snoopy as well. They have a high ground position here. They did still have some vehicles as well, so they're dead center with vehicles in a super aggressive position. Drassel and Pistola Time making it in as well. And this zone is actually a nice zone. The top side of it is there's a lot of dips and divots. Little Prodigy here taking some shots at Ghost. The Super and Ghost, they're making their way in as well. Slowly and steadily. They're going to have the whole western side to themselves. Basically, they can push or they can stay. Online ET60. It's going to be... he heard Pickett from Wizards. He's just going to be driving away in his Bronco pickup.
Yeah, trying to get some shots in, but that's a Hail Mary if I've ever seen one.
Yep, indeed.
Like you said, though, like this, the difference here compared to Wrangle is the fact that you don't really necessarily have to have the compounds because so many ridges to play with.
Yep.
The terrain gives you a lot of opportunity to get some cover and bunker yourself in position, a lot of elevation. So the house can actually be a death trap, effectively.
Indeed, and I mean, also some of the death traps here is basically the big roads, because once you have to cross a road, it's 30 or 40 meters of open space, and everybody can just look at you because they probably have a dip or a divot, or a hill or a ridge or a rock they can hide behind on either sides of the roads. So playing the correct side of the road is extremely important in these circles here, and you can see the way the map is basically torn over. But playing on the northwestern side now, because there's 70% of the western side is on the right side of the road.
Yep.
Because if you have to cross that road in late game, you're probably gonna die from somebody on the other side, on the correct side of the road.
Well, I did see, I can't remember which play day it was, but it was Cloud9 who somehow managed to get across a field and the main road here. Just basically utilizing like 15 smokes or some ridiculous stuff like that. In a situation where it was like 3 squads left and they were in the worst possible position, but still managing to win that fight and win the whole game.
Cloud9 is definitely a team that could do that. They have some skilled players as well, and we also do have a lot of skilled players in this. Here we see Mudov, one of them, taking some shots. They're in the top 10 or top 15. They do have to make a great games or make some great games here in the last 2 games. They want to make sure. Mars taking out Smeagol. Oh, Mars taking out himself as well by Shax, Wilden's teammate.
He's down in the history books now.
So Shax or whatever we want to call him, he's pushing right now. Looks like he did lose his teammate earlier, so he is down to being solo as well. Danny here taking some shots on EC or C5 Soli.
And again, that's just showcasing the little dips
Yeah.
and
all the
bridges we
cover.
have on this map that you can have the cover of.
Exactly, and we're gonna have the new zone here popping kind of in the middle, or basically straight in the middle, and cutting the road or cutting the map in half. It's this big road here, so these teams have to decide what side do you want to play.
Yeah.
Empire going for the straight middle compound right now. Little Prodigy and Pat Caps taking some shots. Gatekeeping a bit here. Little Prodigy is down to 30% HP. He's just pushing, no heals. Yeah, he's going to go back, heal a bit here, and then he's going to push back to Pat Caps, mushing in. And it's just lucky he's going to gatekeep them on the southern side as well. Pidgemanota and Octave as well,
And they're
pushing in.
also you see on the west side of the circle right now.
Yeah.
There's the 2 teams that are contesting one another, but there's teams that are coming into the circle as well. So that could definitely become a bloodbath.
Yeah, Ghost and the Super here, making their way in pretty close to a kickstart. And they're going to take some shots at them. They're about 100 meters away from them, but if they can get a cheeky knock as well, then they do have 2 two-seaters here. They're the best setup right now. Not connecting any shots right. Oh, he did flip it. Or hit the rock. Connecting 3 shots on him. 4 shots on that Rage. He's just going to pop the tire of that. We'll see if he can at least. Goes here. He's going to heal up again. Snoopy taking out PG Renegades. Danny's close to them as well, so they're going to push to our current leaders right now. He spots him. Connecting 1 shot. Goes here with the Super. They're pushing into this barn. And Danny's going to disengage from that fight. Does not want to be a part of that.
Yeah, smartly, I think. Just going for a precision there and getting into the house. Maybe get himself on the upper floor of that said house to get a good angle. Have cover. So he's not going to get flanked.
Yep, and he is alone as well. So taking a 2v1 here in this current stage, if you want to catapult yourself into the top 10, you want to stay alive and make some great plays. I don't believe that they're in a really good position right now, but they want to do better, of course. Here, Schaefer taking some shots with the Car 98, taking kickstart as well. Taking out.
There goes your
Hula Silva and C5 Soli. Had a great start in Picardo, not so great anymore. Kickstart here, taking some shots at Schaefer. Not connecting any so far. Looks like the NA servers right now, or the EU servers, it's a bit too heavy on Kickstart. We're swapping between the EU and the NA servers, so making these adjustments where you have to shoot a bit, like you have to lead the bullets a bit more, so it can be hard shifting those, and the servers get shifted all the time here. It's just lucky, does connect though. Have a pretty good southern position to gatekeep right now. Pat Caps and Little Prodigy did take the cars and go on the western side of the road on the top ground right now. And Nocative is slowly zooming in.
taking his sweet time.
Slowly zooming in as well. They have a good position, a super good position as well. Being shot a bit from Pistola Time and Drazzle, but Pidgemanota and Nocative, they have the southeastern side. Great open space, lots of divots and pits and everything. It's just lucky. Trying to gatekeep E.T. Sesti and Latcott. Squirglot right now taking some shots in here.
Feels like Empire, by the way. It's always Aduzi and Snoopy are always in the right position.
Yeah, have the good positioning, good movement.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah.
Again, they are in prime position for the circle as well.
Yep. Next circle popped. Still the road cutting the circle in half basically.
Yep.
Oxo took, and Kibby is also alive. Oh, taking him out as well. Oh, that's actually the play zone, so he did not get the kill for that, unfortunately.
Well, Once this circle starts pushing in, the west side is going to become heated because there's teams that are already in the circle on the west side, and you have a bunch of teams that are making their way in.
Tuma here pushing straight into Empire. It looks like they're aggressively pushing on him. Tumai, the last player from Pride and Tumai.
If you can see what's actually going on there right now.
Yep. Looks
It's
like
a breach.
they're pushing him. Oh, nice breach here. Actually knocking him. Nice. And actually, Snoopy knocked Adusi himself. He's just shooting everybody.
Collateral.
Collateral damage right there, but at least he didn't knock him out entirely, so he lost him. But he did just knock him. Nice push, nice flank, coming into the room
Now,
at the same time.
little Prodigy and Caps are in position. They've heard, obviously, the fight with Empire, but little do they know, Skirk is actually on the flank. Now, is he aware of Pat Caps and Little Prodigy's position is a different story. But Little Prodigy and Caps are actually more thinking of people coming into the zone than what Empire is doing right now.
Yeah. And I mean, they must have heard him because they did take shots with the Khan 88. It is silent, but you can still hear it when they're that close.
The hum.
Edelweiss 777 inside the zone, but taking lots of damage. He's basically under fire. Ghost and the Super, they are now on the run. We have 13 teams left, 24 alive. They're still a full duo. If they do make it into this top 5, they're really cementing their #1 position right now.
Very true. Strassel trying to get this shot on the Oxo, but just connecting a couple, not able to finalize the job. Instead, just has to hold for a bit, and now most of the teams have made their way into the circle. We have It's Just Lucky and Padoda rather, Anuctive on a bit of a firefight with what's that, about a couple 100 meters?
Yeah, looks like 200-300 meters. Kame also making his way downtown, trying to push in from the west. Not a lot of people over there. Skurglol is also making his way in now. Noctiv and Pidgeminota taking fire as well from Pistola time here. They have a really good house on the eastern side. Dressel and Pistola time, they've been taking fire or taking shots at them for some time right now, so they of course know they're there, but they're worried or focused on the southern side right now, making sure their backs are clear.
Yeah, I think Gippy the Slayer and Oxo Thuck are actually in a rather good position right now.
They have the high ground right there in the middle.
Exactly. Yeah. So you would think actually that they're going to first of all have a lot of visibility, but still have those little ridges that they can utilize in terms of having cover. So that should they should definitely be in prime position to make it deep in this one.
Yeah, Empire as well in the only bigger compound, somewhat centered as well. Let's see, the next zone's gonna pop. It's gonna pop straight onto Kibby and Oxo in the northeast right here. Good for Drassel, good for Pistola time. Very good for Mudov and Fifi Jones as well, but not so good for Noctiv, Penjaminota, Empire at least as well. They have to make a big play right here. Have to decide if they want to push to the north where they can stay in cover, or they want to push the road where they're going to get into the majority of the ground.
At least Penjaminota and Noctiv they're close to the circle, and they can just get to the edge and then kind of just wait for people to be rotating from the south side of it. They have spotted It's Just Lucky. The problem is that the Zupa and his teammate are directly south from them right now, and they've obviously heard the gunfire.
Yeah. The same with Edelweiss and Mudov and Fifi Jones in the top. They are spotting them. The Tap is trying to make a flank for it. And Noctiv here, they have spotted him. He's down to 20% HP here, so Noctiv is just going to spot that. He's trying to smoke for it. But he's trying to heal. He's popping a med kit. Not connecting more. Oh, 2 shots connected right there. Running through the smoke, taking him out. Pidgeminota with the headshot through the smoke.
What
nice
a shot.
lead.
Yeah,
That is probably
damn good shot.
Indeed.
Now we see Zupa and Ghost are coming from the flank. Not sure how aware these guys are of the fact, because right now they have the high ground as well.
Yeah. These guys, Pidgeminota and Noctiv, the Russian lads, they it looks like they have the information. They must have heard it as well, because they had the vehicle. They did move on earlier, so these guys have to come in towards them. They have a little shack inside the zone, And the Super and Ghost, they have to push inside as well. If they could take these guys out, it would be very good for Inoctive and Pidgeymanoda, of course.
Yeah, the Skirk though, who is all the way south, just running away from the circle. Could be a different perspective. Mortify manages to get a knock, gets the kill, but now he's gonna get knocked himself. As the trade kill comes in from Strandoms. But Business is still here, capable of trying to get the situation in his hands, but
Keep this layer with the headshot on him. Finishing
that
off.
positioning.
Yep.
It's looking good for them.
High ground here. Super. Oh, taking out both Pidgeymanoda and Inoctive. First with the headshot knock on Inoctive, and then finishing off Pidgeymanoda. There are now 2 guys alive inside the zone in the top 9. So this is super close to making sure that these guys are gonna be staying in the top 1 position right now. And we're gonna have 1 map after this. So these guys, they're looking really good.
They most certainly are. Skirk still making his way. He has made his way into the zone, and he's obviously heard the gunfire from Zuba and Ghost. But dun dun dun. It's a slightly northbound circle.
That is what we call in proper English a hard shift. Straight to the edge, literally on the edge. The tab has made it in. Mudov and Fifi Jones getting some of that circle lock. They did get in game number 2 as well. Drassel and Pistola Time making in. Bardave. Bardave is the last hope of the North American teams sitting in here as well. He's in a really good position. He's basically invisible right here. Nobody can see him right now. He's just looking like a
one
helmet.
with the ground.
He is. He is.
He's dug a hole and
a sand
filled it.
snake. I do not know what skills he have, but he does possess some kind of sand camouflage skills at least.
It appears to be the case. Now, obviously, most teams having a transition here from the south side. Skirk being the lone player in the southwest side, the Super, and his teammate are going to be going towards Kippy and Oxo, who had a great positioning until this circle happened.
Yep. Goes and Super taking some shots now, so that makes them fully vulnerable to Kippy and Oxo as well. So they are in the tough position. Skuglot is going to take some damage from the zone right now. He's just taking some chill time here and going to heal a bit. Snoopy taking out Strandoms. So he is out right now. Oxo taking some shots and getting hit as well by Empire, who's also currently making their way. And they took the northern side here. They're going to stay on the northern side of the road. It's going to be super rough for them. Fifi Jones taken out by the tap, making his way inside this bar.
Yeah, he's gonna
pushing
have to
the way
take
all the way around. What a super flank here. The double. The sweep. It's going to go for some more heals here. The Super and goes in the south as well. Taking some shots at Bardave. Not invisible anymore. Trying to become one with the ground again. Drassel and Pistola Time. They're also gatekeeping. Everybody just gatekeeping. Skuglot's going to die there to the zone. Oxo has been knocked. Empire is pushing these guys. Taking out Kippy and Oxo. And Empire now in the top 6 situation.
Yeah, good thinking on their feet. As Pistola Time is going to get knocked by Ghost, who is very low in HP himself, and they have Empire right next to them as well. So the zone is pushing in, so he has just barely time to put that first hit in. There we go. Keeps on pushing, and that's going to be Empire in a bit of a handful of a situation, if you will. With pushing in, they go down.
Oh, Ghost is at 1% HP, and Drassel is going to peek. Oh, he's going to get taken out as well. Oh, he's just in the edge as well. Oh, my God. Ghost here surviving this, coming in. 4 teams alive, 6 players left. And it goes north again towards Fifi, Jones, Mudov, the tab Edelweiss. Bardave is still becoming one with the ground. He's making a move for it. Basically a 2v1v1v1 now.
Yeah. Right here now, obviously, I think for the most part, the players have a general idea of where everyone is.
Yeah. And it's looking very good for Goes and the Super right now. They have some high ground position. They have some dips and divots they can play. Edelweiss could be the only spoiler. And it looks like these guys are going to try to go for the safe play and push slowly inside to the zone. and try to get that third chicken dinner in a row. The tap taking out Mudov. Cheeky play right there, jumping on top of these small boxes here and going on the flank on him.
Indeed. That's going to make it 3 teams and 5 players alive here. Bardev has heard everything. He's just waiting for the angle, waiting for that opportunity to get the tab. Otherwise, though, he's making a move to get across the street, to try to get the cover of the ridges, try to get some positioning, because he is the one player in the circle right now.
And he's dead center.
He is dead center, indeed.
The tap closed his tap on Bardev. He did not want bartending anymore. And now there's only 2 teams alive. The tap and Edelweiss. They're going to come together again. Unless the tap is going to... Yeah, he's going to have to smoke this up. Trying to make the run in the open right now.
Yeah, I don't think they really do realize that Edelweiss is here in this positioning right now. The engagement has started. They know where the tab is. He's going for the shot now. Edelweiss could make a play here. He has that opportunity as the Zupa is pushing. They're both pushing in. The tab is just getting shots in. The Zupa gone down to 40 HP or so. He will have to put a medkit in.
And he has no more vest.
Yeah, that's a big one.
And the vest is just gonna trying to spray here. Goes here.
Yeah,
Still with the vest. Oh, connecting one good shot on him. Taking out his helmet, I believe. Edelweiss, meanwhile, on the lurker position, pushing them to the edge right here. So once they're going to come over, he's going to have 32 shots in that Scar ready to annihilate these 2 guys. Pushing to that, taking him out! Oh my god, it goes and the Super here. Tab is down to... He's now up again to 75% HP, but goes and Super in a 2v1 situation right now. He has gotten the circle on him, but these 2 guys, they're just going to try to nade him because they have the info on him right now. So they're going to try to nade the tree. They're going to try to get some info on him. He has a broken level 3 helmet, a broken level 2 vest. And he is in a really tough spot right now.
He most definitely is. He would have to somehow manage to isolate this into individual one-on-ones, essentially. But I think the Zuba has, been knocked down. So now it becomes a one-on-one. Things do change.
Oh, the tap with the insane 2v1. He did have a rock here, but holy wow. Aggressively taking that out, closing that down. 5 kills.
That first knock, though, that was
nasty.
On point.
Yeah, that was nasty. That is the power of the... that was a Scar, actually. So
yeah.
Super strong shots from him right there. Taking 6 kills and the win. But still, the Ghost and... the Ghost and Super... the Super... taking number 2.
Yeah, no, they're looking pretty.
Yeah,
they're looking pretty, and the leaderboard is going to be interesting to see what the situation is, and like how far do they need to really they can probably play super conservatively and just basically play for the placement points.
Yeah,
to secure this one.
They did get 6 kills as well. Here we see Jaganov also shutting down Lula and Andrew Poons. Or Pones. Lil Prodigy taking some good shots on Ghost as well, knocking that with a headshot with the M4. Little Prodigy again with some more kills. Nihanas and Ghost taken out. The Super here taking that push and taking out Pajamanoda and a Noctiv here as well. Insane push by those guys. And that's one of the plays that really have made them become these leaders right now. And I'm pretty sure that it's going to be a very, very close call of them calling them winners already now. But they really have to just play safe and play smart in the next game as well here. Look at that 1% HP pushing down, taking out Drassel because Drassel's focus was on Super instead. So surviving that with that 1% HP, that was insane here. Nice knocks as well.
Funnily enough, it felt to me that this I didn't look at the timer, but it felt to me like this was a faster game.
Yeah, for sure. For sure, yeah. A lot more stuff happened as well. Oh, look at that. That was insane.
Yeah, he
did expose himself, jump on the rock, but still, what an insane play.
And he was spotted before, too.
Yeah.
He got spotted there by the rock, and he
sidestepped a bit. Yeah.
Straight on.
Insane.
To the head. Knocked. And gets the second kill as well. But I think that's pretty much it for game number 5. We're going to take a bit of a break before we go to our grande finale, which got another Miramar coming up in just after a few. Stay tuned.